everyone. Welcome to the Evil Empire. I'm your host, Evil Empire, and this week's feature is Atarka Burn. So this idea comes from thinking about Abundant Harvest and trying to pair that together with Dreadhorde Arcanist, which actually is happening in a lot of different shells. I've seen this in Jund. I've seen this in Gruul, as we're seeing it here, to try to get Abundant Harvest flashed back with the Arcanist. So I'm taking that interaction and then dropping it into a mono red burn shell, and also adding in Atarka's command, which it's kind of cool, the interaction here, if you think about it, because if you have two Atarka's command, once you've played the first Atarka's command and gotten your 3 damage to opponent and whatever other mode you wanted to pick, usually for me it's been the creatures you control gain +1/+1 and gain reach, those two modes, and then you use the second Atarka's command to flash back the first one with Dreadhorde Arcanist. So you can actually get 6 points that way from your one Atarka's command, as well as even adding it up to 9 total between the two of them once you've cast the second one, in addition to casting the first one a second time. So overall, I just wanted to splash green into a burn deck and see how it turned out. The other green cards besides Atarka's command and Abundant Harvest are Scavenging Ooze as a one-of and Dragon's Guard Elite as a one-of. Just basically testing these out and seeing how they do, and seeing if maybe a little bit of main deck Graveyard Hate could help burn get a little bit more resilient against some of the combo nonsense that's going on in the best of one historic format with Reanimator, with just basically Is It Phoenix in general. Not really a combo deck exactly, more of a burn deck, but all those different types of things, giving this mono red deck a way to fight on that access of the graveyard. And so that's one reason to splash for green. And then of course the other reason to splash for green is to get Abundant Harvest twice. The second time when you flash it back with Arcanist, you're really in essence getting 2/3 of Ancestral Recall, 1 mana for 2 cards, and you can guarantee that they're non-lands, which is such a huge deal in burn. And it's what's allowing me to run a 19 land count in the mana base. If we have Abundant Harvest and we have a green mana, which is not a guarantee, we only have 12 green sources in the deck, but if we do get the ability to cast Abundant Harvest, it really does a lot of work in this deck, because you can just boom, get you another burn spell, or boom, get you another creature. And just the ability to name land or non-land is such the biggest thing about this card. And it's one thing about burn that's always been a problem, at least as far as my experience with mono red burn, is they sometimes run out of gas, and being able with Abundant Harvest to get a couple of extra cards, especially if you're flashing it back off the Arcanist, is a really, really big deal. Can get you those last few points that you need, those last little points of burn that are going to bring you over the finish line and get the deck to win the game. So, combine that with the other little chip damage ways that it has of getting through. And, Atarka's command is just a really great combo with Soulscar Mage in general, being able to basically give your Soulscar Mage +2/+2 from the last mode on Atarka's command. It's really a nice little combo with the whole thing, and I just really have enjoyed the deck. And I think even though it's basically had an even record for me, it's one that could definitely go on quite a run in the best of one format, because it has all of the trappings of mono red burn, but it also gets that little bit of ability to grind from green, that little bit of card draw, or I guess here with Abundant Harvest it's just card selection. It only becomes card draw if you get to flash it back off the Arcanist. But in any event, just a couple of different things that green adds, and also trying out 4 of Atarka's command from the release that came out on the 27th of May with the Historic Anthology 5. So that's pretty much the deck. That's Atarka Burn. I also have thrown in Gigantha as the companion, just as a big body in the late game. You're not really going to be able to make use of the mana aspect of it, but it is a nice body to have late in the game. And that is Atarka Burn. So let's take a look at Atarka Burn on the historic ranked ladder in the Platinum 2 rank. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so. I think we can keep this. So we can play a lot of this for 1 mana, especially if Soulscar Mage lives. Please let this live. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Well, now we're in a little bit bigger trouble. than we were before that happened. Ah, alright, well, get in there with one with Bowmat. Steam Vents tapped from the opponent, so is it Phoenix most likely? Force is a pretty good draw. Play out the Bowmat Courier on the red mana. Go ahead and attack, and then post-combat, Abundant Harvest, naming land. You hate to name land with Abundant Harvest here, but just gotta get it done so we can cast some Wizard's Lightnings. Alright, so we got Mountain in hand. Looking happy. Opponent is gonna Faithless Looting. Discard Phoenix. Faithless Looting. Oof. Discard second Phoenix. Bring it back with Shock. So now we take 6. Down to 14. And that's, yeah, we're in pretty bad shape now. Thermo Alchemist. Attack. Kill one of the Phoenix with this. One of the Phoenix-Eye. One of the Phoenixes. Yeah, Brainstorm makes this deck really powerful, it's true, but like Faithless Looting also, man, that's a powerful card as well. Banned in Modern
I have practiced
currently.
against many foes like
Seems
you.
fine in Historic, I guess, they think. I don't know, what do you think of, dear audience? Leave me some
Meditate
comments below.
and
Is
prepare.
Faithless Looting an okay card? Is it a problematic card? It's the little thing that they say when they don't want to say that it should be banned. It's problematic. Just come out and say it, people. Alright, well, Bowmat Courier, notably not a wizard, so Wizard's Lightning, still bad here. Man, Phoenix is a good deck. Opponent, Sprite Dragon. Alright. Get in there, opponent.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
No? You're gonna play some more cards first? Wish you wouldn't do that, opponent. I wish you wouldn't do that, opponent. Alright, well, this is pretty bad. This is like half my life total, practically. So, down to 6. Opponent at 14. Yeah, Scooz is totally useless here. Kill off the Sprite Dragon, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Tap Alchemist in response. Yeah, pointing burn spells at creatures is not where you want to be at. Alright. So, hopefully they can't bring back other Phoenix, otherwise it's just, oh god, alright, that's enough. Yeah, we're just toast here. Alright, first loss. Alright. Yeah, this hand seems fine enough. We'll be paying life for red for a while, but that'll be fine. Just lead on the Soulscar Mage, it's just got the biggest upside. The biggest potential for many, many points of damage. See, our opponent knows this, that's why they lead on it as well. Alright, so Thermo Alchemist, pay the life, don't attack. So we're in the burn mirror, and our opponent has an actual burn deck, as opposed to my weird Atarka's command creation. Alright, so they basically just destroy my whole board. That seems kind of rude, opponent. I'm going to do the same thing again. See if maybe it sticks around this time. That would really be ideal for me. Be able to contest the board a little bit here. Alright, so this is going to be Burning Tree into what? Lightning Strike. And then attack with the Soul Scar. Get in. I'm at 12, they're at 20. Seems bad. Seems like I'm having the worst of it here. Attack. Wait till they block. Atarka's command. Deal 3, everybody gets bumped. Alright, well, we got them for 6 points, so that's pretty good. Pop them right quick. Alright, opponent goes for Bowmat Courier and hits me for 2 points. Plays out a Soulscar Mage. I'm gonna play Abundant Harvest, naming non-land. Burn Spell. Okay, Pillar's good. Let's kill something. Soulscar seems good. Alright, so that's done. Alright, so skewer the critics on Bowmat Courier. They discard Viashino to draw an unknown card. Alright. Oh, they're also ruled? That's awkward. Alright, well, kill your Soulscar. Alright, DPE. And then just buy Gigantha, basically. Hope we draw into another land here. Oh, come on. Alright, down to 3. Play out Gigantha really sadly. And they top deck Burn Spell and win, probably. Yeah, okay. You hate to see it. Oh, man. Alright, that's game. On to the next one. Yeah, this hand's fine. We'll pay a bunch of life for our red mana until we draw a mountain or other red source. Alright, so lead on Soulscar. Opponent puts down some white / blue mana. So I'm not sure what to think of that. Maybe auras? White blue auras, perhaps? That's what comes to mind with the pathway in Historic, but who knows. Alright, so Bowmat Courier, which was nice, we don't have to pay life for it, but we do have to pay life for the second Soulscar Mage. And then opponent plays what? Oh, General's Enforcer, so like some kind of 5-pillar or Esper Humans deck. Interesting. Okay. Wizard's Lightning gets rid of the General's Enforcer. Double Prowess trigger. Attack for 5. Opponent at 13. This feels pretty good. Spectacle for light up the stage. Hit a land, hopefully. Nope. Alright, well, we can play the Shock at least. See if we draw the land next turn, perhaps. Alright, so opponent is thinking about what to do. 3 mana. Maybe... Ah, okay. The General Kudrow. Exile card from my library. Alright. That lightning was a pretty good draw. Otherwise we're gonna have to double burn it, which always feels pretty bad. Oh, okay. And opponent's had enough. That'll do. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep it. Probably gonna lead on Crag Crown Pathway, the red side. And Soulscar as a turn 1 play. And then Rootbound Crag's coming in tapped, but I still can keep up Shock. So seems fine. Then that into maybe Abundant Harvest or Thermo Alchemist. I'll have to decide on turn 3 what I want to do there. It'd be nice to be able to do both, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm going to play this Forest. That's nice. That means that my Rootbound Crag is coming in untapped, and I can count on that. So attack opponent for 3. Clearly opponent has disconnected or something like that, because they discard a card rather than play a land. Which seems like something that a human being would not do if they were connected to the game, but alas. Just playing against the machine here. Playing against the ghost of the machine. Alright. Draw the third abundant harvest. Okay. I'll take it. Sure. That's a pretty good draw. Blast the opponent in the face. I don't know. Abundant harvest again, I guess. Still remaining on land. Still getting burn spells. Alright, so they're at 9. Should be able to finish them off next turn. Just like shock, attack. That should pretty much do it, I think. Opponent did not play a single land, so I'm living the dream of just getting a total free win unranked. Which you do occasionally get. Sometimes opponents just mull to Oblivion and get a free win. Here it seems to be some kind of disconnect issue. Alright, third time we're going down the rope here. Alright, that was pretty predictable. Once you miss your first land drop, it's pretty much over, and if you miss land drops 2 and 3, well, hey. Yeah, this hand seems okay. Probably lead on the Rootbound Crag into Ramanop Ruins, and then turn 2 Dreadhorde Arcanist, turn 3 Abundant Harvest, flashback Abundant Harvest. Also got a couple of Atarka's commands, so that feels pretty good. So opponent on island. I'm gonna make sure I lead on the Rootbound Crag here. Gonna have untapped mana on turn 2. Play Dreadhorde Arcanist post combat. Alright, eats Quench. Feels bad, man. Alright, so play third land. Gonna maybe just drop the Scoos here. Well, I don't want to drop the Scoos into a counter. Choose non-land. Alright, and then see what they flash in at the end of my turn. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be the Cutthroat? Maybe the... Yeah, Spectral Sailor. Okay. So I'm gonna let that go and see if they maybe target it with like a Curious Obsession or something. So we can get a little extra value off the Lightning Strike. Is the opponent gonna do that? I don't know. Let's see. Just an opt? Alright. And they pop the opt. Attack with Spectral. I'll blast it here. Well, they've got something that's holding priority. Yeah, they don't want to end up using that mana on their turn, so they're just going to pass with... Oh, okay, so starting turn payment. Alright. Okay, green mana's pretty good here. Scavenging Ooze, they cannot have a counter for this. There is none. And just pass with 1 green mana up, which means I can make Scoos a 3/3 when I'm ready to. Alright. Well, we're doing pretty good. Sea Dasher Octopus targeting Siren Storm Tamer. Alright, well, I don't have much of an answer for that. So you're going to get this extra card off of the damage from the... Storm Tamer goes underneath? I feel like that's just a misplay. Strictly a misplay. Not much I can do unless I want to make it gain reach, but... eh. Yeah, maybe making it... yeah, that might have been a misplay. Might have punted that. Maybe just making it gain reach rather than using the ability on the skews and gaining life is where I want to be, but... alright, yeah, never punished. Sure. Just draw shock when you need it. Does opponent have counter? Yep. Lookout's dispersal is fine, because we're just going to hit it with this lightning anyway. Auto pay for that. Pay a little life for that. And then 3 damage to opponent with the skews. Alright, so opt this time. Also to the top. And they're going to wait to play it. Okay. So I'm going to get in here for a 3 damage rather. Unsummon. Okay, well I have a second green, so it's not a problem, but... got all these Atarka's commands in my hand, just burning a hole in my pocket. So, play the Scavenging Ooze and leave up a green. Alright, opponent on all islands. And I'm gonna exile your octopus. And go ahead, alright. So try to get in there again, see what happens. Unsummon again, so we get unsummoned a second time and back to hand, play it out. Their counter is what? No counter. Gonna save it. Okay. That's fine. If you insist on saving your counter, you can do that. Here comes Spectral Sailor. Sailor's on the attack. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this Siren Storm Tamer here. Gain a little bit of life. Oh, sweet. Alright, shock is really good here. Hopefully they have to use their counter spell. Yep. Tax the rest of my turn a little bit. Doesn't matter. Alright, that was the last counter spell then. So, feels good to get through all of them. You rarely do with Mono Blue. Alright, Brazen Borrow's gonna bounce this back to hand, but I don't care about that, because I can just replay it right now. Man, opponent is really not using the bounce to the maximum advantage. It feels just like kind of haphazard. Alright, 6 islands and a Brazen Borrower in exile for the opponent. Red Horde Arcanist. Attack with skews. Down to 15 for the opponent. Opponent gonna flash in the Borrower. Alright, attack me down to 16 life and concede the game. Fair enough. I'll take it. And I'm back with Atarka Burn. So we're looking at the performance of the deck, and it's basically a 50-50 deck as far as my experience with it. I went 5-5 when I played it today. A couple of the losses didn't make it in because they were kind of non-games. A couple of the wins didn't make it in for the same reason, but I did keep one kind of ridiculous non-game win. I think you know the one I mean, where the opponent just didn't play any lands, but that's really just because I think that's a good indication of how the quality of the matches on the ladder are highly variable, especially when you're in the platinum or diamond rank. You just can't really judge success or failure in that arena because there are some games that are just plain old non-games in the sense that your opponent disconnects or for other weird reasons. It's just Tybalt's trickery hits emergence ultimatum, like, oops, win the game type of thing. But overall, looking at the composition of the deck, I would probably want to rebuild the mana base to have a couple of more green sources. I'm not sure what to cut here because Ramunap Ruins is such a fantastic card in the deck and does often get us those last couple of points that we need to be able to close out the game. But I think maybe you would shave a couple of Ramunap Ruins to be able to get a couple more Crag Crown pathway in the deck, and that might be one way to have a couple of extra green sources. You want to go up to maybe 14 green sources to be able to cast Abundant Harvest on time when you want it. Usually you want to be able to name non-land as well. So that's a good reason to run some extra green sources in the deck. But overall, very pleased, and I think this is definitely one that has a bit of a potential to add something different, a different angle of attack. Just the ability to have some main deck graveyard hate with Scavenging Ooze, a kind of a standalone threat, and a mana sink with Dragon's Guard Elite, in addition to Atarka's Command and Abundant Harvest, which Abundant Harvest obviously can be flashed back with Arcanist and get a little bit of extra value that way. Just putting those extra non-lands in your hand or dealing that 3 and pumping your whole team. These are really great additions to the Burnt archetype, and I think it was an experiment that was really worth trying out, and just to see like what would it actually add to the situation. Is it in fact worth it? And I think it would bear up with some more exploration. If I was able to go 50-50, 5-5 on my own, just messing around with it, I think there might be a little bit of potential here. So definitely take this deck, run with it, iterate on it, and see what you can come up with. And that is going to do it for this week's Historic Weekly feature. I want to thank you for watching the video. Please remember to like the video and subscribe below. Heart of the Cards, all of you who liked the video, you're the best. Thank you for leaving a comment as well and helping out that algorithm. Everybody have a great week. I'll see you again on Sunday. This is Evil Empire signing off.